Hello, welcome to Padding Pool 377. I am Pat here with Hat. We are back on the mic for more Padding Pool action, and we'll get right into the upper bracket finals, where we'll get to see Perish Song going against Flex Up.
Ooh, I'm interested to see this because we see seed number 1 and seed number 2 in the winners finals also always means we are going to have a fun match. And like you said, Pat, we're back on the mic. It's been a hot minute since we've been on the mic together.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a hot minute for me on the mic, but especially now coming back. Happy to be with you and happy to be back at Padding Pool Perish Song against Flex Up. Well, Perish Song already had a big run through this tournament. They started at winners round 2. And after that, they just demolished everyone. 0 losses. Same goes for Flex Up. So both of these teams are finally going. One of these teams is finally going to lose a match. We are going to have to see how it happens. I already saw a Dapple Duelist. We love seeing this here on Dapple Productions. And the Luna Blaster Neo on the side of Flex Up is a very, very lovely weapon to see here. Now both teams going straight. Dashing for the middle point, trying to get first touch on the tower just to get the extra point in. The big fight already on the side of Flex Up. 2 players down on both sides, Pat. And finally, Perish Song is on the tower to start off their push. But Flex Up, they can see number 2. They've been being cracked a little bit right now.
Yeah, that's quite the strong opening right there by Perish Song. But they only got to the checkpoint. At the end of the day, in tower control, getting a lot of kills, getting some momentum is nice. If you're not able to go through the checkpoint, it doesn't matter as well. And right now, Flex Up got the tower back into it, and we get another neutral. And right now, it looks like it's Flex Up that's pushing in, that's trying to go forward. They have all these vacuums that are being used one after the other. That's allowing them to push in, but they didn't get to the checkpoint either, so it's still very much both teams trying to find the big weakness, the big opening that would allow them to go in. We still see a lot of fights though, Hat, and these two teams are still trying for more, but nobody's really able to get enough of an advantage yet.
Both teams have been lossless so far in this tournament, and I'm pretty sure both teams would like to remain lossless during the duration of this tournament, but there has to change after this game. They're very much neck and neck to each other. Flex Up is now on the tower, trying to push forward. They have players advantage and are going straight for checkpoint 1. They're on it, the lead has been swapped, and can they get the checkpoint as well? I do see a crab tank on the side trying to get the players off the tower. So far they succeeded, but Snack still right there. Ooh, just a bit too late. But the checkpoint timer hadn't been reset. Very well done by Flex Up, and that's checkpoint 1 down, Pat.
Yeah, first checkpoint broken for a second. As they were breaking the checkpoint, Flex Up had the numbers advantage. But Perish Song are able to retake control of their side of the map. They respawned very quickly. They got back into the fight instantly. That checkpoint is broken though. Flex Up is up 1 extra checkpoint. This is what matters the most. And look at that. They're pushing still. They know they have to press their advantage. They're getting the splats. They're getting the positions. And they're bringing that tower forward once more.
Perish Song just doesn't feel like they have any grip on the situation here. Flex Up is literally flexing on them. We do see the Luna Blaster trying to get a little bit cocky, get some extra kills, and doesn't get the splats, unfortunately, allowing Perish Song to finally get out of their base and start pushing forward a little bit. The Splash-O-Matic went on the tower to keep that thing going forward because they really need to get some points in. There's only 2 minutes left into the game, and they haven't even gone to checkpoint number 1. Big Reef Slider on the back of the spawn of Flex Up didn't do much, unfortunately, for Perish Song. Grab Tech now, who's kind of standing there awkwardly trying to hold ground and get their teammates back into position and do this successfully, Pat. And now Perish Song is on the tower with a checkpoint and a bubble.
Yeah, that bubbler is really allowing them to completely ignore anything thrown at them. They break the checkpoint. It looks like they're going to take the lead as well. Now the big question is, can they get to the second checkpoint? Can they really get more? The crab tank to the side is forced into a ball by the Luna Blaster. You always have to pay attention to the blaster with crab tank. And right now, with a hammer that's being used right there, FlexUp are able to really push Perish Song out of here and bring the fight back into mid as the tower resets. That's 3 players down onto Perish Song. We're in the last minute hat, and FlexUp, all they need is to bring the tower to the checkpoint. That would give them the lead.
They just have to bring it home essentially, but these 8 points might feel like 800. Looking at what Bearsong really wants to do, they have a composition that can defend like the Great Wall of China. Do they really want to? But FlexUp is getting quite close, and FlexUp is having the special at the ready, and they're going straight through that wall. Even with 30 seconds after the clock, they swapped that lead to 36 and counting, breaking checkpoint 2 while they were at it. And suddenly, where Bearsong had a small lead, they're looking at a massive loss right now. 24 against 42. But they have to break through checkpoint 2 still with only 10 seconds on the clock pad. Overtime push has to happen, and it will be a difficult one.
That's the difference between the lead and the checkpoint right there. Perish Song now, they have their work cut out for them. They'll have a very, very hard time moving in, but they're able to paint ahead to allow themselves to go forward. And with the Reef Slider going into the opponent spawn, they have the Dapples in position. Wait a second, Hat. They are moving in, but here comes the vacuum, here comes the strikes, all the specials being used right there. It's a slaughter, and that's FlexUp getting game number 1.
Very well done by FlexUp, and especially that last push, just putting a nail in the coffin by getting that lead up to 76 points scored. But Pat, remember, this is still... I should say this. Look at how close these two teams were against each other. They were neck and neck all the time. Neither of them was really giving the other team space. They had to fight for it. If this is just game 1 tower control, what will these other games give us? Because I think it's going to be a very entertaining winners finals.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And one thing to shout out right there, FlexUp, their 96 Gao was activating the vacuum over and over. It felt like that was a vacuum main, and a few times you would see the 96 painting for the next vacuum. They always had the extra protection. And when you're on the tower with a vacuum, nobody can shoot you. You just move forward, and that was very much FlexUp using that vacuum to its best all of the time. Now, going into Rainmaker is, kind of the same deal. If you have a vacuum, you can protect your Rainmaker and score a lot of points.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a lot easier to stop a Rainmaker than to stop a tower. It's a lot easier to bring a Rainmaker back to the center than it is to getting a tower back to the center. It just takes a little bit less time, but I think I fully agree with what you said, Pat. These two teams are going to have to find a strategy around that Rainmaker, but also around the amount of flanks that both of these teams are throwing at each other. Because every single time, there was always some cheeky little frontliner, albeit the Luna Blaster or the Dapple Duties, just around the corner waiting to backstab the opposing player going towards the objective. So that's one of the things that both of the teams have to look out for. And also, I think the weapons were very different from each other. Their playstyles, I don't think they were that different from each other. I think the biggest difference was the way they wanted to, defend their pushes or just defend their defensive plays, with Parashong having a lot of bubbles and FlexUp having a lot of vacuums. But other than that, I don't think their playstyles were all too different.
Yeah, we're in upper bracket finals of Battling Pool, and one thing to remember is at this level of play, players, the weapon doesn't matter. What matters is what the players are going to do with them. They're going to move incredibly fast, they're going to fight incredibly well, and at the end of the day, it's the team coordination, it's the ability to adapt to your opponent. And right there, it looks like Parasong is adapting. We saw them have a good opening in game 1. They have a good opening. Once again, they have control of top mid, but not enough good control. Wait! They
Look happy though!
They got to the side, the other checkpoint.
The art of deception. Get your opponent to focus on the middle of the map was you go to the checkpoint. The risky one though, because I see H going towards that other checkpoint, trying to get a cheeky big score in. Actually, that's a huge push considering they just moved like, what, 20 meters and they went from 0 to like 0 points to 68 remaining. Well done from FlexUp. Big opportunity there. Parasong though, definitely the winner of fight number 1 because they got rid of the checkpoint super early in the game, which will be a sigh of relief. But FlexUp is not leaving out anything. I think they're a little upset at what happened because they are dominating in the base of Parasong right now.
And one thing to note is that FlexUp right here has a bucket in their roster, and on this map a bucket is very, very dangerous, especially in mid. Can control the space incredibly well, but right now we're not in mid, we're moving forward. Parasong bringing the Rainmaker further, they no longer have the checkpoint and they bring it to 40. That's certainly not a safe lead, but that is that's more pressure on FlexUp, Hat.
Definitely is more pressure on FlexUp. I think they can sustain the pressure. I mean, we saw what happened in the late game of Tower Control last game. They can definitely sustain it if they need to. They hard control the Rainmaker. They do lose a couple of players though, including the Rainmaker. Unfortunately, they are starting respawning and getting rid of the players of Parasong as well, so they can probably grab that Rainmaker again. But they still have to push through checkpoint number 1, and that timer, it's running out slowly.
I mean, there's still 3 minutes in the game. There's lots of opportunities to move in. And in Rainmaker, one mistake from your opponent is enough to give you the victory. But right now, Parasong are riding that momentum. They've been in control of this game since, we're halfway through, and FlexUp hasn't been able to really get much. And right now, Parasong is getting to 21 points, and they still have presence in the street. They have so much control here and there. More points coming.
Look
Wait,
at that.
that's okay. Oh, and FlexUp didn't even get the checkpoint.
That was nasty from that Splash-O-Matic. That was really nasty. Oh my god, but also the teamwork there. That was a perfect example of how you should play Rainmaker. Defend for that guy, but also paint for that guy. Something I see a lot of teams struggling with when casting or playing Splatoon. The Rainmaker it's like literally an immovable object. It cannot defend for the life of itself. It's just kind of there existing, and you have to guide it like a little kitten, towards towards where you want it to go. And this team did an excellent job of guiding that Rainmaker to the pedestal. FlexUp, I really thought they would have more in them this game, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be.
It's like they had the tools to move forward. We know how good they can be, but every time they had something going, there was someone from Parasong to counter it, to stop it in its tracks. And it's a chaotic mode, it's a chaotic map, which means things can go wrong very easily, and FlexUp was not able to adapt to their safe flex to the situation. But now we're going to go to a more stable mode and a more straightforward map with splat zones and Robo-Roman. This is the opportunity for FlexUp to regain their composure, to find the right spots and do what they know how to do.
Definitely. Also, finally objective, at least I think finally for both teams, an objective that's just stationary. It's just there. You don't have to move it. You move towards it. It's a bit of a change for these two teams. A bit of a let's chaotic game mode. But I don't know. I feel like the fact that the game mode is less chaotic might just translate into the game being more chaotic, if you know what I'm saying. I think we'll get a lot of spam specials being thrown out there. I expect definitely like an extra Inksuka or another vacuum on either side, just to spam more giant projectiles across that zone. Because on Robo-Ramen, it's so easy to do so.
Yeah, you have that wide open space in the middle that really enables you to use your range to your advantage. We don't see that much of a change in terms of composition, with Perish Song being back a regular blaster. They had the Luna for Rainmaker. Right now, both teams fighting for mid, and here comes the vacuum. I mean, that vacuum is going to be key to flex up strategy right there. You can deny the opponent from painting and then throw a big explosion to punish them for trying.
Oh, that Luna Blast is on a rampage. Got
Yeah.
two, looking for the third. Doesn't connect with the third, unfortunately. But they do help their team scoring big points, pushing Persong all the way back to the base, allowing Flex Up to move out even further. They did get splattered though. This might be a winning opportunity for Persong to get back into the zone. They have a big bubbler there. Will it be enough? The hammer says otherwise because Flexsong is still in control path. They are trying to move onto the elbow, and again the Luna against the regular blaster. What a menace of a weapon this is.
Yeah. Perish Song relying on their 52 Gao to keep some attention to the side. That Gao delayed a little bit Flex Up from setting up good defenses, and now Perish Song is in the right position to start another push right now. That's exactly what they're doing. They're getting the splat. They're going to get the zone. Finally, they struggle to get there, but look at that. They are so far up ahead. They're in the perfect spot to get a comeback.
They definitely, I think they're overextending a little bit. If looking at this, I don't know if you want to beat that far up because you can't really go back Persol, and I don't think you want your own name to spell your own disaster. 2 players down on the side of Persong, but also 2 players down on the side of Flex Up. Effective 3 down on Persong. That's a delayed wipeout, and whilst they were overextending, getting splattered in front of the base and then getting splattered into the zone, Flex Up found their way back, and with 51 points remaining, Flex Up is still in the lead with a solid 22 and only 35 ticks of penalty left, but Persong have some work cut out for them.
Yeah, winning that fight really allowed Flex Up to get more control, to tick at their penalty. They haven't gotten rid of it completely yet, but right now, still more pressure on Perish Song halfway through the game. They're getting the zone back, they're getting control back, and we've seen them move forward and get very strong when they get their control.
Let's see how it's going to go. They still have 15 ticks of penalty remaining. They're a little bit less overextending this time. I think they've learned their lesson. After last time, big splashes coming out on the side of Flex Up, getting rid of the 52 Gal. We're just about to use the special, and oh, look at that. That's a sprinkler and a hammer, and that is a zone capture, and only 4 points scored for Persong. Surely, but slowly, they are gravitating towards the 22-point mark, Pat, but if they keep this pace up, I don't think they're going to.
I mean, right now, the battle is raging. Persong needs momentum, needs to be able to really push Flex Up out. But Flex Up, they don't mind. They're playing their game and they're holding their positions right now. But Zone is just going back and forth, blinking, changing colors every second. That is not good for Persong. Persong needs to keep the zone, needs to score good points, and finally able to push forward to get their presence in on the opponent's side of the map, which is what they really want. But Flex Up are already in the right spot to get back to the zone. The triple ink strikes are ready. The vacuum is ready. Can they get back to the zone with all of these splats? It looks like they're in the right spot. The vacuum shot is going to go above the zone. That's not enough, but with the strikes, they're going to get it no lead.
That was a massive vacuum shot. Getting it all the way from across the spawn to the zone and neutralizing it as well. That is crazy. I didn't even know you can do that. I literally did not know you could do that. I'm learning stuff about this game every single day that I'm watching it. But Persong, they were also close towards getting a lead. They're only 6 points away from tying with Flex Up. With those 6 points, they're going to be like 100 now. With all the vacuums just being spammed, all the tri-strikes being thrown out on the field. And a wipeout for Persong. Flex Up, all 4 players down, and also like in an equal time, meaning they are all respond together. But it also means a lot of time will be bought for Parasong because they now get rid of their penalty, and just by holding this zone with the amount of time to move towards that middle point of the map, and with also I think 3 players down at the end, Flex Up at the last moment lost the lead. Parasong now 2-1 ahead, almost securing their ticket for grand finals. And that wipeout, that must be salty, because I don't think that's a fun point to get wiped out in.
Yeah, I mean, it's like so much like Flexa played the war of attrition. They constantly had the pressure. They're constantly throwing everything they could at the zone, hoping to really keep it. But Parasong knew the objective. They knew that they needed to have players around the zone to really get control, win the fight, then get the zone. And once they were able to finally get that wipeout, push Flex Up away, it was done. But I mean, Flex Up were constantly everywhere trying to make sure Parasong could not breathe, and in the end Parasong made them pay for that playstyle. That is 2-1 for Parasong. Flex Up now on the spot. If they want their top spot in Grand Finals, they're going to have to win the next few games, starting with Clan Blitz on Scourge Gorge.
I don't think it's impossible for Flex Up to win 2 games in a row. I mean, still, we saw what they did the first game, and we saw what they did the last game as well. They're not a team to mess around with. Even if they lost 2 games in a row, doesn't mean that they can win 2 games in a row. I definitely think they can if they really want to. But Scorch Clan Blitz will definitely bring some interesting stuff to the table, because now again it's a more chaotic game mode, especially with the amount of power clams that you can split it and then can be thrown around the map by their teammates, but also just the fact that now everyone is constantly moving about, not towards the central point. It's all moving in every single direction until a push is finally ready, which will of course bring some more interesting elements into this game. Now Flex Up, Pat, like you said, they have to win 2 games in a row, and let this be the first for them, because Parasong is looking at a ticket towards the grand finals, and they're also close. Carbon Roller on the side of Parasong, bringing a more flank heavy weapon in the field, and 52 instead of the what was it again? I think the Vanilla Blaster. No,
we had the 52 earlier.
You had to do it? Oh, I just...
Yeah, the carbon is coming instead of the blaster.
Oh, actually. Just the carbon, okay. Yeah, no,
and I'm kind of surprised to see the carbon now, if we didn't see it in Humpback for Rainmaker, but I guess Parasong has a plan right now. Flex Up trying to maintain some pressure. Luna is the last standing for their team, but Luna is just not going to be enough. And Parasong opening strong. They already have a few points, and they're making sure that they're going to get more. Wait, no, they didn't have the clams to throw out the basket. They were next to the basket. They had control of the basket area, but they moved so fast they didn't have the clams ready.
They definitely opened the push. Yeah, I think a little bit too excited. They have a second power clam on the map, so they can do something with that, make that 2 power clams. So, that's a solid, 20 points. If they can get both of them in, but it looks like Flex Up has something to say about it, because they just got rid of both players holding onto those power clams, and those power clams are sadly no more for Parasong's. Flex Up is slowly but surely painting that map yellow, trying to get some map control out here, because they have almost nowhere to move around. A Snack is on the side, trying to put some pressure onto the Splashomatic with the vacuum now, and with the help of their teammate, does not get splattered yet. In fact, the Little Blaster got splattered there instead. So does the 52 gal and the 96 from Flex Up. Parasong only losing their 52 gal. They have 10 clams on the map in their hands also, but no power clam has yet been made. They are surely playing it slowly. I mean, they don't really have the motivation to super aggressively push. They still have a lead, even if it's, effectively 1 clam of lead. Yeah. They have a lead, and sometimes in Clam Blitz, that's all you need.
Yeah, and right now Flex Up are not really able to establish their presence. Oh wait, never mind. They just did that. They just got the splats. They have the clams, and now they're going to the basket with the vacuum to make sure that nothing goes wrong. Prodding that super jump with the clam, and that's a lead for Flex Up.
Now the tables have turned for Parasong. They were playing it slowly, but just a little bit too slowly. And well, I think the Flex Up took my advice of one clam too serious and decided to score 2 power clams. I guess it's one thing scored.
Oh.
Right?
Oh no.
Anyway,
We're halfway through the game.
Oh. Is it disconnect rules? I mean, neither team has scored past 50, and it was to 36 when it disconnected.
We're more than halfway through the game, so
I mean,
it's not up to us to decide.
They're gentlemaning it. Oh, calling it.
We'll see what happens. But
in all honesty, the timing was a bit odd. I'll give you that. It's Splatoon, so you know. And I don't think Parasong is doing the best. But in a scenario like this, back when I was playing, we would gentleman this.
I
mean, you're having. I mean, I think both of these teams are having a good time. I don't think Flex Up is having a rough time here at all. They're doing a good job, but also they're neck and neck with the opposing team.
I'm never faulting a team for taking the game in that situation. You know, like that tournament is running longer than it should have, and
that's fair, yeah.
It's like and like stop putting pressure on teams to gentleman agreement all the time. Like at some point, it's on you to not disconnect. You need to have a wired connection, and it happens. Like it's fine to just lose a game and move on. I think it's very much, but yeah, they did confirm that they're going to gentleman it. But like, stop saying they're gonna gentleman it every single time, because like, teams don't have to do that. Like at some point, take the game. You're perfectly fine to take the game. But let's.
When I played majors, we definitely did a gentleman. We just take the W and leave. But I feel like in a battling pool, I think with the pressure a bit lower, I think it's a nice goal for both teams. But yeah, I do agree with you there. At some point, like, come on, if it happens too often, then definitely. But it hasn't happened too much, at least what I've seen between these two teams. I haven't really seen a little lag, so a second chance might be the play. Whilst we were yapping about gentlemaning, the play right now is Flex Up really pushing in the base of Parasong. While having no clams at all, they have a power clam finally in their hands, but there's no one really in to push it. They're playing very aggressively, but just a little bit too fast, because now when they really needed the aggression, they're being pushed out of their base.
Yeah, I mean, we get to see more games, so that's good for us. And right now, Flex Up have their vacuum. They don't have a super clam, and with that Zuka to the face, they don't even have enough clams. Oh wait, no, they're forced to move out. It's Versong that has a super clam ready, but they don't have the positions right now. Flex Up are keeping their presence around the basket as they wait for the clams to be collected by the 96 gal. That 96 is ready right now, is going to open the basket. That was a hassle for Flex Up. They really struggled to get it, but that's 20 points.
Nicely done, but unfortunately only 20 points. Not a single follow-up has been scored. And look at Parasong. They have a whole bunch of stuff coming towards them. Oh, the Luna Blast there. Had something to say about it. It's just 1 player alive. That's just 3 power claps? Where did the third one? Where? I'm gonna be honest, I only saw 2. I genuinely only saw 2 clams. But I guess it's 3! 40 points, that's a big opener for Parasong.
They didn't even use their pity clam. Like, that was just, they collected all the clams and got there. That's incredible. What a push by Parasong. That was so fast. But now Flex Up are getting back in position, and Flex Up they're painting a lot, they're retaking a lot of the ground right now, and they're making sure that Pearson can't really get back in mid. And when you have a carbon roller on your team, you need to paint. If you don't have paint on the ground, that carbon roller is way less effective. You're playing a 3v4 until you can put paint back.
That's another power climb scored by FlexUp. Can they finally have a follow-up? Or will it just be a single power climb scored onto the basket again, Pat? It's just a single power climb. They're extending their points by 10, but they're still 30 points off. They still have a 10-point penalty, so the power climb, of course, will only get half of the points in. And ooh, Hammer, the boot with the swoosh. Another power climb entering the basket, but they still don't really have a follow-up on the map. There's the second power climb, and that will probably get the lead in their favor. It finally has gotten the lead. 19 points remaining, and there's another power climb on the way. It might just dunk it. Yes, it does. It took a little bit for their diesel engine to warm up, but now it has warmed up. Now it is ready. And that is a KO on the side of FlexUp, equalizing the score. And now both teams are looking at a match point tiebreak here.
Yeah, game number 5. I mean, right there, we saw Perish Song with such a fast, such a powerful push. FlexUp, instead, they played the long game. They really were playing to hold the presence under the opponent's basket. Between the hammer and the vacuum, they had so many specials that really allowed them to deny presence, control the space, and they stayed under the basket just long enough to get that final super jump, that final super clam. But I mean, what a clam blitz games. We're not used to seeing teams score as much as that, but I mean, on this map you can expect a team to really do that kind of move, to really take control of the basket, but usually it usually doesn't work as well, because you have to go back for clams, and teams usually lose control of the basket while they try to collect clams. But these two teams were able to collect clams so efficiently.
See that number 1 and number 2 in this tournament for a reason. These two teams are strong. These two teams are ready for anything with the opposing team is throwing at them. But I think that's the difference between lower level players and better players, is these players don't lose their cool. They know what to focus on and when to focus on it. And they are also very good at only sending one person off to collect clams while everyone else is defending, keeping that basket open, slowly scoring points if they have to. Parasong, unfortunately though, this game only scored once. They had a big score, but only once. FlexUp had to do it 4 tries for them to finally get the KO, but they got it anyway. And now we're back to square one. The game mode which started out this madness. FlexUp, the first time in this game mode, got a little bit of a clutch at the end, while Parasong was a bit too greedy. Let's see if they've learned from their earlier mistake, or if they will suffer again here on tower control, as the first game has been ended, because I think the wrong team is on the wrong players on the team. I'm not sure.
I think, I'm not sure, but yeah, things happened. We're going to get back in the game very soon. Oh yeah, there's been a mix-up because we just added a spectator right there. But yeah, so I mean, on this map mode, one thing to remember is look out for the blasters. On tower control, blasters control the space so well. And especially right there, we saw these two teams, they were incredibly close, as you said, in the first game. So now the big question is, who's going to adapt? Now these two teams have had the time to really learn what the other is doing, to really switch up their playstyle, change things. Big question now is, who will get the crown? One more game to decide it all, and it's tower control on Inglot. The classic tower control map has been the classic since before this game came out. And so I'm pretty sure these two teams, they could play blindfolded and knew exactly where to go and what to do.
Dude, I can play just by blindfolded and probably still know where to go. This map it feels ancient now. It feels so ancient. But it's such a good
Still
map.
good. It's still good.
It's like Makeover, right? It's just a cult classic you can never get rid of. It just works, but it just works with so many different playstyles, and it doesn't feel punishing. These two teams are going to their original playstyles because they know that's the best. They know that's what works, and that's of course probably their tower control lineup also. But you know, we're not that competitive over here. We're trying to have fun. Well, the players are. I'm not. But let's see how it's going to go. 2 players down early on the side of Persong. Flex Up only losing their Luna Blaster, allowing them to get onto the tower with the help of the vacuum. Was a decent sized shot in the base of Persong. Unfortunately, they do get a delayed wipe pad. And now Persong is on the tower, grabbing the leader and dashing towards checkpoint 1.
Yeah, not wasting a second. Persong securing the checkpoint thanks to the crab tank. The strikes will slow things down and allow Flex Up to attack the tower, but they get punished for it. Ran forward a bit too fast, and Persong punished them right there. That's going to be Persong getting through the first checkpoint, and with their 52 gal in the exact right spot to protect everybody. They almost got the second, but Flex Up were able to deny presence to win that big team fight, which means the second checkpoint, which is usually the checkpoint that decides everything on this map mode, was not broken.
Definitely is not. Flex Up is slowly making the way towards the middle, or slowly trying to touch the tower, but Persong is not allowing them any room to breathe. 2 players down. Instead of Flex Up, there's a crab tank playing quite aggressively, trying to push up. Does get splattered, luckily for Flex Up. Does it matter all too much? I don't know. Persong getting a lot of splats, and Flex Up is kind of stuck in their spawn, awkwardly waiting for a moment of opportunity to arrive, and I think that moment of opportunity is waiting for the tower to be in the prime spot for that blast to have some fun, but it's going past that point because the blaster couldn't get near the tower. Unfortunately, 2 players down on the side of Persong now. Pat, that tower is going back, not scoring a single point on the checkpoint, not even touching the checkpoint actually, but Persong is doing an amazing job here on the offense.
It's even when they're not moving forward, they keep the tower, they keep the pressure there, they force Flex Up to use their resources for their own side of the map. But that's Flex Up answering, and look, they're already going on the top platform. They know that control of that top platform would allow them really make sure they can push incredibly safely and hit that vacuum. Ooh, that's a nice vacuum shot to completely end that grab. Beautiful move. They have the lead. Can they get the checkpoint? That was so close, but they're not breaking the checkpoint yet. I mean, that's still Flex Up getting a beautiful lead.
That's a very well-deserved lead. Also, sometimes one major push is all you really need, but that's what these two teams are doing really well. Getting one giant push in and then kind of, trying to keep it or just, still going. Like some other game modes. Let's see if Persong has a response to what Flex Up is doing right now, because they are pushing it forward. They're also pushing the tower forward. They're not just getting splats into the base. They're taking the objective with them. Tri-strikes are coming out towards the tower, trying to buy them a little bit more time while they had some players down on the ground. Will it be enough? I don't know. They're keeping it in. They're not losing out on the tower, but they're also not really scoring points right now. That is the pencil down on the side of Flex Up pad, and that's the sloshing down also. Persong, they have about a minute and 15 seconds left, and they have to make a major push now.
Yeah, Persong last minute is about to start. That lead is not that big, as long as Persong can get to the checkpoint. And oh, look at that, 3 players down on 2 Flex Up. It's Persong's turn. In control of the top platform, they have the whale to force everybody to dance right there. This is the opportunity for Persong. They have checkpoint number 2, and it's the last minute. Flex Up are going to need another last minute comeback if they want to get to grand finals.
Ooh, wipeout on the side of Flex Up. This is what Parasong wants, especially this late into the game. They're just trying to buy some more time. Flex Up, they have to go in quickly, but the tower is moving along further and further, and it's going to extend that lead. It looks like they're at least near the 41 mark. 10 seconds remaining. They have to get a major overtime push in if they want that ticket to the grand finals and not having to fight their way through the losers brackets for it. But it's going to be tough. There's a grab tank at the ready. I'm fairly certain that the tactical will be ready soon as well. There's the grab tank. Their belief is a blaster coming in, and a wipeout on the side of Flex Up will seal that deal in a hard-fought battle, gentlemaning and winning after that. The Clamblitz game, it wasn't meant to be for Flex Up, as Parasong get their way through the winners finals, securing themselves a ticket to the grand finals. But Flex Up, they still have time. They're still a losers bracket.
Yeah, but that's 3-2 for Parasong. Flex Up will have more work before they can make it to grands, of course. Their opponent is not decided though. It's going to be between In the Rain and 4 in a Trillion. We're going to take a short break so we can set up the lobby, and we'll be right back with lower bracket semis.
And welcome back to Paddling Pool. If a break is short, it's supposed to be short, because we are already back with our next match in this tournament. It is, I'm going to correct the bracket, is the losers finals, which actually no, it's losers finals, semi-finals. I'm sorry, losers semi-finals in the rain against 4 in a Trillion. These teams have been going lossless in the losers bracket. For In the Rain, the journey was not that long. because they get kicked out of the winners bracket or winners semis too. So they've been in here not that long. But for Inacroyan though, they lost against In the Rain earlier in winners round 2 and have been fighting since losers round 1 in this losers bracket, going lossless as we speak. This team has a bone to pick with In the Rain. For Inacroyan chance, they've gone through this entire thing lossless, and there's a slight chance that they might also go lossless through this best of 3. Only time will tell, starting off on tower control. And I'm gonna be honest, Pat, after the tower control games we saw again with Flex Up and Parasong, I'm very excited for a rematch between In the Rain and For Inacroyan, because they already know each other.
Yep. I mean, that was a 2-0 for In the Rain, so very much like kind of a surprise, kind of an upset right there that happened, but we'll see how it goes this time. But yeah, we'll see how things go, and for now we're going to start with tower control on Undertow Speedway, and In the Rain is bringing a Nautilus and an L3, very uncommon. I think we have our colors mixed up actually.
I mean, I'm already a fan of the L3, but let's just put that up first. I'm a big fan of the L3. I don't care which team has the L3, but I'm fair. Okay, the colors are swapped. This looks more correct, yeah. I am a fan of the For Inacroyan L3. I hope they succeed, even though I know that weapon can be an absolute pain to use, especially against regular shooters. But In the Rain does appear to have a regular shooter in their team, so that might help. But either though might cause some problems early on in the game when the tower control or the tower is still in full open space. I also love the vanilla border burning. You don't see it too often, I think. It's always fresh to see that weapon being played. 3 players down on the side of In the Rain though, Pat, and For Inacroyan now having a breeze, just getting on the tower and cruising towards the first checkpoint.
Yeah, For Inacroyan right there. They have the whole map painted blue. They have a numbers advantage, and right now they are cruising to the second checkpoint. Nobody can really stop them. In the Rain, they know they need to play the patient game. They need to regroup. They need to make sure that they push as one. Right now, they're making sure that they keep control of their own spawn as they wait for the right opportunity. And here comes that opportunity with the Booyah Bomb and the Bubbler. They retake control. They retake the tower.
Let's see if the reflight is going to do anything good for them. Right now, it doesn't appear that has been the case. It just opened up some space though, but unfortunately that Stamper has been splattered. 3 players down again on the side of In the Rain. For Inacroyan is making it so difficult for them. I mean, they already lost to them once. I am fairly certain they don't want to lose against this team again, especially in an upset, and especially now that there are no second chances here. There's no risk to be taken, and the only way to eliminate all the risk is to eliminate all the opposing players. 2 players down on either side of the bracket. But it is still For Inacroyan that is cruising the tower, finally leaving that thing because of the Booyah Bomb pad, with a massive 20 points remaining against 73 for In the Rain.
Yeah. A very strong pressure by For Inacroyan. In the Rain, able to stop the push, able to survive to make sure that that final checkpoint is not broken. But there's still a checkpoint behind. They still very much need to win the extra fight if they want to get a push. And right now, it's not happening for Inacroyan. They're simply getting more splats. They're getting more splats, they're getting more paint on the ground, and they're getting more points with that tower.
Surely, slowly but surely, they will get some points in this. You know, as long as For Inacroyan just keeps doing what For Inacroyan is doing, there won't be a whole lot of points for In the Rain. That said though, they're on the tower now for real, and they're holding their grip firm. They have a big buffer at the ready as well. Will they use it on the tower? Will they wait? Tiger is holding on to it as long as they possibly can. They finally used it. And that's a very good timing as well, because the technical alert just came out that allowed them to get through checkpoint number 2. Two players are down though. I don't know how long they will hold on to that checkpoint for, or the tower for.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that long. Kaido is still on there with that Stamper waiting.
Whoa.
And still pushing it forward. They're trying to hold it. Slusher going in deep.
Oh.
A wipeout on the side of Ford. The Krillian pad
That's
in the rain is taking it back.
They struggled so hard for all of this game, but now they get the lead by a single point. What a push! And after they got the second checkpoint, they were so patient. They were a player behind, and they were forced to wait. They knew what position to keep and how to respond fast enough, just enough to get back in the fight. And now with 30 seconds left, for a Krillian, they need one single point if they want to win this game, and they're pushing. They want it. They have 3 specials ready. Now the big question is, can they get to that checkpoint?
They definitely can if they want to. They have a crab tank on the field. Booyah Bomb is going to make it a little bit more difficult though. The crab tank to survive. 3 players down on the side of in the rain though. For the Krillian, they have to rush it. We have to go through all that checkpoint. I feel like that was a bit of a wipeout, but some text obscured it. But
yeah. So
For
Ali got a
Krillian.
splashdown in the opponent's platform, got 2 splats, and then went to the side to finish off the bandsaw. Completely shredding everybody with that blaster. Incredible play right there. And that's a game number 1 for 4 in a Krillian.
That is the point they want to see, but also I think I start to understand how Full or In the Rain beat For a Krillian. I'm gonna be honest, I am starting to see why, because that was incredibly close. I cannot imagine that the games in Winners Round 2 were not this close. I cannot imagine that. I'm fairly certain that these were still very close games, even if it ends up being a 1-2 or a 2-0. Sometimes it might look like a sweep, but it really isn't. This might just be the case. But the comeback from 4 in a Krillian. I already thought that it was over when In the Rain scored the 20 points, but no, 4 in a Krillian decided that 19 or I'm sorry, 18 was the final score.
I mean, For in a Krillian was the team that was in control of the game for most of the time. In the rain, it's very much the kind of pickup that, like, these players, they like to create a surprise. They like to go where you don't expect them and play in a way you're not prepared for. So that's their play style. Let's see how things go in this second game. Remember, it's a best of 3. So, for an Krillian, all they need to do is win this game and they would be qualified for the final.
Easier said than done. Court always brings us some chaotic games because people play chaotic weapons on this chaotic map. So let's see if it's going according to plan for in the Krillian, or if In the Rain might just give them a rainy day out here on the field. It looks like For the Krillian has a decent amount of map control. The Rainmaker has been popped also, but there's not an opening yet. They're waiting, they're trying to build special, they're trying to get rid of some players In the Rain. Just want to have a safe opening, but by doing so, by waiting a little bit too long, In the Rain has a Kraken, has a player splattered, and has a way forward. With a Kraken too good, you don't want to just mess around in that base, because that Kraken can splat you, and that takes attention away from the objective as the Rainmaker scores checkpoint 1. Ooh, that's nasty.
Yeah. Hey, they got the checkpoint, but they got wiped out for it. For an Krillian now, they get for free an opportunity to tie up the score, as they're already next to the checkpoint, now waiting for a way in. The Toxic Mist is not enough to stop them. Full checkpoint. These two teams are within a point of each other once again, but it looks like For an Krillian has more control, has more presence. The Kraken is forcing them to think twice though. Can that Kraken really defend the Rainmaker long enough. It doesn't look like it. The Kraken was tamed, and now Foyner Krillion is going to score more points.
43 is the current score to beat, but Foyner Krillion
Yeah.
is not done yet. They're pushing it all the way to 35, and there's still a player left in that spawn they can potentially jump to. I don't think they will. It's a bit risky with all the weapons out there. But there's a chance for, or in the rain picks up the Rainmaker, trying to get it out of the base immediately. And I understand why you don't want to wait with the amount of pressure before the Korean is moving out towards in the rain. Now that Rainmaker is in a very own position, but I think a very favorable position for in the rain too. When they all get other players back, start pushing again. They have it in their hands. They have a big bubbler there, and that is a lead swap to 33 pet. Very, very well executed by In the Rain with the big bubbler, helping their teammate forward.
Yeah. It's Rainmaker, it's perfect for In the Rain. They like the surprise. That one big move that gives us a push, and right there, In the Rain, able to get the lead, but still 2 minutes in this game, Hat and Foyner Krillion are back on the attack. And look at that, they're not running, they're simply walking forward, making sure they have paint, making sure they have the right positions, making sure that everything is going according to plan. Right now, In the Rain able to get back in the right positions to defend and punish the push by Foyner Krillion. Foyner Krillion are forced out, and with a minute and a half left, looks like In the Rain are keeping their lead.
Exactly what Foyner Krillion was doing with the Rainmaker is what you want to do. Spam that weapon from the backlines until you finally have an opportunity to push, and then dunk in and just try to score as many points as you possibly can. Does work most of the time, not always. This time, unfortunately, it didn't work, but that's generally what you would like to do. Now, both teams are fighting towards a recent Rainmaker in the middle of the map, trying to get a lot of paint on the map. It looks like In the Rain is the team to get the paint pop. They are in the lead by 2 whole points, but they also lost 2 whole players. There is a grab tank out on the field that's holding down that Rainmaker, forcing everybody to go away from it, not allowing anyone to pick it up. And Toxic Mist will help with that. Now the grab tank is over. But will it be enough? But Mega Griffin with the Kraken getting rid of that blaster, and it's looking tough for Foyner Krillion right now.
30 seconds left, and only 2 points are separating these two teams. Foyner Krillion, all the pressure is on them. They need to grab the Rainmaker, they need to push forward, and here it comes. Probably the last push of this game. Can they get there? 10 seconds left, and then it's overtime. I think they don't have a choice. This fight will decide it all. Can they go in? And right now, Nom with the cloud, with the storm, is trying to go forward. But here comes the Kraken. The Kraken has one single target and is chasing as much as they can. They're not able to find it, but for the Krillion, they've been holding that Rainmaker for a while now, and they're still moving backwards. A snipe will end it. That is 1-1. We are going to a tiebreaker once again, Hat.
2 points difference, 65 to 67. Look how close. Again, these two teams are with each other. Honestly, the only thing I can say is just, wow. They're both playing it right. I mean, honestly, I don't have a lot of criticism about these teams and the way they're playing. It's just that In the Rain had a bit of a luckier push, I guess, with, you know, two more points scored, but they essentially did the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean, both teams quite polished, able to really control the space. Both teams very solid in their defense, being able to deny the other team from going in. Usually when a team goes beyond the checkpoint, they get to 20 points, they get to the ramp, and here there was a lot of discipline, a lot of like well-organized teams able to hold the line and not let the other team go through. That is a 1-1, and to decide it all, we're going to go to Clamblitz. I think the overlay is wrong because Sendu is telling me that the final game is not Splat Zones, it is in fact Clamblitz.
I will believe Sendu.inc and will say it is also Clamblitz. Overlay has changed. It will be Clamblitz. It'll also be another chaotic game or chaotic map. Umami Ruins also brings some interesting stuff to the table.
It's the kind of map mode where we are likely to see constantly the teams being under one of the two baskets, because there is very little reason to fight for mid. Once a team has kind of the advantage of mid, you want to go to defend your basket. You want to make sure that your basket is not in danger. So the second the team gets the advantage, the other team is very likely to move back, make sure the basket is secure, and defend there. Because fighting for mid, it's so chaotic on this map. It can go always either way, and at this point of the competition, randomness is not what you want. You want solidity.
Especially this late in the tournament, stability is exactly what you want. But I think also right now, a little risk is a bit justified, don't you think? I mean, you're gonna be either gonna be out anyway, so you're gonna like go out. I feel like just go all out and try to just get a KO or lose. I feel like those are mentally, realistically your options. Maybe I'm built different though, and just have like bad decision making. I don't know. I'll leave that up to the experts that are playing this game right now. But Clamblitz, of course, always brings some chaos and brings some carnage. When we looked at Flex Up against Bearsong, those Clamblitz games were the most chaotic ones with the most massive scores being scored and then somehow still end up losing. This might happen for these two teams also. Only time will tell. It looks like Fornicroid is doing a bit of a better job in the mid fight than in the rain is, but neither team can't really get a good push opportunity as of yet, but as these two teams are still waiting for the big strike to come in.
Yep, right now, Fornicroid have the Super Clam. Nom Nom is going to open the basket, and the splashdown by Ali is not going to find anything. The Kraken survived. Of course, the Kraken is invincible, and right there, that looked like so much more control for Fornicroid. It looked like they had the clans, the presence. They only got 20 points, and they have to be disappointed there. You don't want to only score 20 points in your opening push. That's a free Super Clam for In the Rain, and now In the Rain, it's their turn to look pretty good. Just lost the Super Clam, but they still are in the right position with control of top mid and an Elita in control of top mid right there. All they need is a few specials that could allow them to get the lead.
It's really all they need. The lead's not that big, so it's definitely doable. Just breaking through the defense is a bit of the bigger problem here. A Kraken from Matt Griffin might just help with that. Doesn't connect with Splatfire. That's 3 players down while In the Rain was trying to push it forward. Neither of the Power Clam holders were even able to get close towards that basket as Fornicroid got rid of them early. Very well done for prioritizing your targets. In the Rain, that was tough to see. That's tough to follow right there, because this game has almost been dragging on for half of its duration. Only 1 Power Clam has been scored. It must be against you also, and then if you lose this, you're out of the tournament. But they really need to step on the gas here, because there's not a whole lot of time left, and I feel like Fornicroid is just gonna defend here.
I mean, all the Rain needs is to score 1 Super Clam and then 1 single clam. That is nothing. One mistake by Fornicroid would be the last right there. Fornicroid will need to get them to get more than just defend right there. And here it comes. The basket is open. All they need is 1 more clam. Wait!
Oh no! Oh my gosh, 1 more clam is what they needed, but what they got instead is a wipeout. I was gonna jokingly say easier said than done, but I think it really is easier said than done this time. Because for the Korean, they're not giving them a single chance whatsoever. I mean, that's a bit of a risk of only defending right now because non-power clam and deadly is gone, and there's only 1 minute and 20 seconds left. I don't think we're gonna play that defensively right now. There's a bubbler though. There's a lot of clams on the side of In the Rain, but they're kind of messing up, taking a power clam here. They did take it. They did break the lead. Pity clam has been picked up by Foreign Croyan to spawn another one. How much of a follow-up can In the Rain get in that basket so fast? Because there's a lot of players out there. It looks like there's no follow-up. With a minute left, they are in the lead, and that's what's important right now.
It's a small lead, but it's a lead. Opening the basket would give the lead back for the Korean. These two teams, they really struggle to put clams in the basket right now. 45 seconds left. For the Korean has the paint. They have that single super clam that they need. That's all they need right there. As long as they can bring that super clam to the basket, they would get the lead back. But right now, In the Rain are defending well, are fighting well, are painting around. There's no way forward for Korean right now.
Ooh, for Korean, big of an awkward position there. They're opting to lose one of those power clams because they already really need one, and everyone is visible holding a power clam. The Nautilus though does pick up the second power clam. Two specials already on the side of for Korean. There's not a whole lot of time left. Overtime in Clamblitz, not that long, I believe 30 seconds. Flash down, Proc doesn't connect to anyone.
Whoa.
There's a Nautilus with a Rayman with the power clam going in, gets the dunk! And that dunk is just enough to get 4 in a Korean up to the next round of this tournament. 30-29, almost the lowest amount of points that can be scored in a Clamblitz game, but in a crazy close 2-1 3-set game and a cheeky fist bump to boot. It is 4 in a Korean to go towards the losers finals. And just again, wow. I thought the last set was close. This just takes the close to a new level. I don't think there was a single game where the score difference was more than 5. Okay, I guess. Yeah, no. I think Tower Control was like what, 2? Clamblitz or Rainmaker was 2, and now this is 1.
And not a single small clam was scored in this game. Every
crazy.
push was one super clam in the basket. Oh, the other team respawned. They're back in control. Let's move out of here. It was not possible for a single team to really get comfortable, to really get momentum. It was always the other team coming back, answering. What an incredible game that at the end of the day, by a hair, in overtime, for the Korean got back on top, and now they are going to the lower bracket finals where they get to meet FlexUp.
I don't think they've met FlexUp in this tournament yet,
Nope.
because they were on the other side of the bracket. But it is seed number 2 against seed number 3. I think we're going on a very small break just to get the lobby set up. So don't go anywhere because we still have 2 amazing sets coming up here on Public Pool.
And we are back with the lower bracket finals. We've seen both of these teams had. It's Flex Up against 4 in a Trillion. Lots of speed, lots of talent in there. We'll see who is able to be on top. Of course, Flex Up. They were in the upper bracket finals. We saw how close that final was. For the Trillion, had stumbled at the start of this tournament, absolutely destroyed the lower bracket, but now ready to fight for the crown. Two teams that are quite strong, two teams that are quite dangerous, and we're going to start with a map mode that has become kind of a classic. Of course, it's Zones on Robo Robin.
I love this map mode. I just love the map in particular, also the theme of this, but I also just love the map mode combination. It is definitely the Splatoon 3 Mako March zones. But I want to talk about a fun fact, because we've already seen both of these teams. We know how they play. This bracket in Battling Pool really went from everyone's like 2-0 and throwing each other to everyone is going the full 3-5 games. Only one other game this tournament had it so far. That just shows how closely matched the top seeds of this tournament is. And let's see if this will translate to a 5-game losers finals. It is Flex Up who takes the first paint on the zone and get a decent amount of points out of this. Also because they are pushing 4 in the Korean back into their spawn pad. They are slowly trying to get back, but can they get zone control here?
Yeah, and remember Flex Up, they like their vacuum, they like their presence. 4 in the Korean were able to push back and repaint the zone, but they haven't taken full control of the surroundings yet, which means Flex Up will be able to get back into that fight contest. Everything, and right now we're still waiting for the end of that team fight. The vacuum will slow things down, allow the rest of Flex Up to respawn and get back in the fight as the zone is their color. But for the Trillion, they keep the positions right now. They're not trying to push ahead of the zone, they're just making sure that they have more paint than their opponents. And right now they're keeping their control.
They are doing a very good job trying to get that lead into their hands. It's only a couple points remaining. And it looks like there it is. That lead is back into the hands of, or at least back. It is in the hands of 4 in a Korean now. They have 2 specials ready also. That will help them defend. They have a special ready. And they have a hammer ready. Ooh, the hammer traded the hands. But doesn't matter now because the hammer got 2 kills. And that is a wipeout on the side of Flex Up pad. That's a huge bonus for 4 in a Korean.
Yeah, for the Korean right now, they have all the paint in the world. They have no penalty on them. Flex Up doesn't have much time if they want to get back to the zone. They need to do it now, acing with the hammer. Throwing it forward, that's not enough. Hammer can't paint the zone. That is game number 1 for 4 in a Trillion. As Flex Up, it's like they had good control, they had good presence, but they lost that one fight and they paid the price for it.
They definitely did. And sometimes one loss is all you need, and it's been a bit. I forgot what it feels like to have a game end quick. That's a very well played map mode for 4 in a Korean. They had patience. They were waiting for the right opportunity to get that zone in the hands. They fought over it earlier. Didn't end up getting the zone, unfortunately. But the second time they did, and the second time they really got that zone into their hands, it was just straight up over. It was just straight up over for Flex Up. They had no response to that zone take. Now, Pat, it is time for tower control. I think it's a game that suits this team a little bit better. They already had a good tower control win earlier in this tournament, but also a devastating loss. So time will tell how Flex Up is going to respond to the quite dominating victory of 4 in a Korean.
Yeah, but Hat, it is only game number 1. It is certainly not over now. We're going to map about different map, different playstyle, and we'll see if Flex Up switch things up. And one thing to note going into macro tower control is that Flex Up They have hazing now. And acing with the Luna Blaster will be incredibly dangerous on this map mode.
How so?
Have you ever fought a Luna on this map mode, Hat? You would know. If you've ever fought a Luna on this map mode, you know that you're in danger.
Does Splatoon 1 Luna experiences also count?
I don't know, I never played it.
But yo, I understand what you mean. I mean, any blaster in and of itself already is a... What the... Sorry, I got caught really off guard by a freaking gold dynamo. Is that thing good now? It is!
Dynamo's good.
I always, every time I try it, I have like the most awful time of my life. Maybe I'm just really bad at this game.
The map has ledges, has stacks, has slopes. This is a very, very good map for a dynamo.
Yeah, I think I'm just bad at the game though.
It's a hard weapon. It's a very hard weapon.
That's true. I was like one of the weapons you look quite late because like, oh, it's really good. It's really difficult. But okay, I'll believe you. I'll believe you if it's good. The special is definitely the interesting choice though, with little jumps. But it can work out, especially at the size of this map. Jumps feel like a huge special. Also huge. It's the first push from FlexUp. 65 instantly scored on the map. They did lose the tower here though. Two beautiful. Was it two spots by the cracker? Were it two? I don't know.
I don't know, but Boy and Ukrainian right now are still in there, and I mean, still acing very dangerous with that Luna. That being said, only the first checkpoint has been broken. On this map, the first checkpoint is not that hard to go through, but FlexUp are painting again, are pushing forward again, and they can take their time because they have the checkpoint advantage. They know they have no pressure. They can move only when it's good for them.
I don't think they really want to move as much as some other players would like, because they really want to move only when the time is right. Big hammer! Oh, that pencil got caught in the crossfire. I don't think the hammer was even aiming for that player, but got the player anyway. Well done by that L3D from 4 in a Kroyan. That was definitely a lucky shot there. Didn't translate into a push, unfortunately though. But it was a nice moment to have. Now it is again FlexUp on that tower with that Dynamo, with that Luna Blaster. Big splat by that 96 deco on the side of the map. Chomps coming out into the base will paint an enormous amount of for a Korean base orange, limiting their movement a little bit more. That score, that lead also has been extended to 49 points from 65. For the Korean got the tower though, but they still have a job to do, and the job is even get on the tower and score more than 20 centimeters worth of points. 2 players down on either side of the map. It's a pencil v pencil on the side. The blaster got rid of the 96, but now there's a Dynamo coming for its replacement. L3D came in, but got dropped instantly flat. And for the Brilliant, they are struggling to find any sort of footing in this map right now.
This is a deathmatch right now. Like, this is a team deathmatch where everybody is constantly in a fight, trying to survive. One player gets the splash, Nom Nom able to get a double and a lot of presence, and finally for the Ukrainian are able to get enough presence to hold the tower. But I think, oh no, they lose the tower right away, because there's constantly someone from FlexUp to force them to fight to the side. And right now for the Ukrainian, even when they win the fight, they're not able to get the tower.
Let's see how it's going to go. Let's see a hammer on the side of Fornicurian. Gets the shot down instantly, and that's a bit of a problem right now for Fornicurian. Every single time they're trying something or they're using a special, it just gets dunked on, and then the special is gone, and they have to wait about like 20 seconds again to get that special back into their hands, and it's just time wasted. 50 seconds left, Pat, and they still have to break through checkpoint 1.
And they're struggling to keep that tower even when they win the fights right there. Corner Krillian needs something big in this last minute, in these last 30 seconds of the game. As Flex Up, they keep the fight going. Flex Up, like, they really understand the assignment. They have the points advantage as long as there's fights around the tower and nobody on the tower, they are winning the game. Ooh, Ali!
Ooh,
Ali
big
is
blaster.
getting spats. That's a lot, and they're at the checkpoint. They're so close. After that checkpoint, they don't need much more points in order to get the victory. We are in overtime. Everybody on the tower, but here comes the Kraken. The Kraken is being
It doesn't.
Oh! Whoa!
Oh my! Wow, that Kraken must have been a bad day. Oh, what a
Shoo away.
literally, that okay, 50% chance that someone from Foreign Korean was saying that. I'm in awe. I am in awe, Pat. What just happened? What just happened? They went from not being able to get on the tower, not having any chance of doing anything. This is casually getting rid of a Kraken that's trying to get on the tower and getting the lead back in overtime, getting themselves a match point status in losers finals. What happened? When did these guys wake up?
There's a few teams that when there's 5 seconds left on the clock is when they play the best. When suddenly all the pressure is on, pressure makes diamonds, and for the Krillian right there, rising up to the occasion, and they're leading 2-0 after getting pummeled for most of that game. Incredible comeback, denying the Kraken, denying anything. It's just they were fighting for their lives for most of that game. But, I mean, you can win for 4 minutes and 55 seconds. If your opponent wins in overtime, it does not matter.
It really doesn't. No, it really doesn't. But Flex Up, well, they've proved themselves to perform under pressure against an earlier team. Unfortunately, they lost against the Bearsong. They've been proving themselves indeed to perform under pressure. And sometimes they just had the right people, the right specials at the right time for tower control. Now, our next map mode might just be the decider. It might just be a 3-0 in this losers semi-finals, or this will be the start of the reverse comeback for Flex Up. They are the higher seeded team technically, but they are 2 points down, and Clamblitz is a game mode where it can suddenly change up. I'm going to presume that you're going to tell me that this map is also good for the Dynamo Roller, or that a Snack is just a crazy player with crazy weapon picks.
I think they're crazy. I don't think this is a good map for Dynamo. This is a good map for long-range chargers, so look out for the pencils. These pencils, they decide the game. I'm not sure why you bring the Dynamo here.
It's a long-range roller. It's a long-range roller. You said it's good for long range, but there you go. I think it might just be the chumps, but then again, there are like so many other chum weapons you can pick. It's a choice. I'll give them that. It's definitely an interesting choice. It's a choice.
It's interesting. I'm here for it. It's always a fun weapon to spectate. We're not the ones playing it, so good for them. Have fun. But right now, for the Krillian, painting around, not yet able to get enough clam. The Kraken is going in, trying to get present. And yeah, you can't follow the opponent on the grades though. And right now it's 3 down on Flex Up. Flex Up got shredded. They're saving their super clam, but they're forced completely out. And for the Krillian, he's going to paint the whole map.
Oh, big hammer throw from that L3 onto the power clam user. Now they're forcing to go. Oh, the plastic gets splattered as well by the bomb.
Yeah.
Ay. For Ukraine is making some very good plays here. Unfortunately, they don't really have the clam economy in hand. They do have enough clams. Oh, they had enough clams with the power clam. Unfortunately, they lost most of those clams. Now, but neither team really has now. Neither team really has set themselves up because every setup attempt has gone bust. The other team always finds a way around it, whether it's by luring crackers to grades or getting the most crazy hammer bomb throws mankind has ever seen. It's a difficult game for both teams.
Yep. I mean, this map mode, it's always hard to open the basket. Well, but it's not that hard when everybody's dead.
I think that does help. Yeah, it doesn't much. It helps a little bit. That's a good reaction from FlexUp.
Yeah.
Very fast. Done by, I believe, was it the Mighty Blue Blaster? They were there on their own and just picked some bow clamps and threw them in. Very well done, actually, and just a fast overall reaction by the player. Now a delayed wipe. If Little Love gets splattered, finally, a delayed wipe on the side of FlexUp will allow for the Korean to get some paint on the map, but the amount of time that was between the first and last splat, FlexUp is basically already back in the midpoint, and for the Korean, I don't think they really gained that much from that delayed wipe.
Yeah, and that is a big move right there for the Korean. They need a huge push now, but FlexUp, they're not stopping. FlexUp, they keep getting more and more. I guess this is Dynamo map, Pat. I guess it's working.
At what's going on the map right now, it definitely appears it is working. Another power clam is at the ready for FlexUp. For Ukraine doesn't have a response as of yet. Hammer trying to open that push, fails to do so. A minute and 20 seconds are remaining. Kraken is out on the field as well. There go the super jumps. Every single special has been utilized from FlexUp. It hasn't resulted into a major push as of yet. 3 players down though, might change it a little bit. The Dynamo from FlexUp is going in the upside of that grade. Doesn't do a whole lot, unfortunately, but just divides enough attention away from the basket to get a power clam in and get rid of some of the penalty that has been scored for FlexUp. 3 more clams to go in to score 3 whole points. I don't think they're going to score that much more, but that's still an extension of the lead nonetheless. So that push has not gone to waste, Pat. But for Korean, 30 seconds remaining, and they have yet to score a single point.
Yeah, and especially these 3 extra points. They're not much in terms of points, but they kept the basket open longer. They forced everybody in Foreign Korean to look at acing a little longer. That allowed the rest of the team to get back in position, and look at that. Foreign Korean, with 15 seconds left in the game, they're still stuck by their basket. They can't get back to mid.
Maybe the super chums are something that we have missed. They have a power clam at the ready. In fact, they have 2 power clams at the ready, but they have no special whatsoever. There's a little blaster on the side trying to do some damage. They got rid of one of the players. They got rid of 2 of the players, in fact. They got rid of 3 players. It is just Harmonia out there alive. No way to get back into the spawn. All on their own. Finally able to jump out, but what does it matter? Overtime is basically over anyway. And with a wipe out to boot at the end, FlexUp had a very dominating game. Number 3, not a knockout, but 0 points scored by 4 in Korean.
Yeah, I mean, FlexUp just woke up and really finally cracked the code. It really felt like they were on top of the fight, like they were on top on the map, and didn't let Foreign Acrylion do anything. They really took control of this map mode. Now, there's one map that is good for Dynamo Hat. There's one map that is better for Dynamo than any other map. And it's Humpback Bump Track.
It is Humpback Bump Track. Is this also one of those maps where like, oh, Dynamo might work on this? I think it is. I mean, it worked on this, so might as well work. I'm still in awe, I'll be honest. I'm still in awe that the Dynamo did so much
Yeah.
The previous 2 games. I am in shock because in my head canon the Dynamo is still bad, but I think those days are over.
Oh, it's good now. It's good now. But even when Dynamo was bad, it was still viable on humpback pump track. You could still bring into humpback. So right now, Dynamo is dominant on here, and the gold Dynamo honestly has a bomb. The chumps can always be useful for a push or for defense. Like it's, I wouldn't be surprised to see it coming back because it's a good weapon for this.
I am very intrigued what FlexUp is going to do because they are looking at a reverse sweep. That's what they really want to do right now in order to stay in this tournament. For the Kroyan, they still have 2 more chances to mess up, and then only after the next game it might just be a bit troublesome, right? Do you think Verona Kroyan is going to risk a strategy that might work out for them, but also can backfire heavily, or do you think they're going to play it safe and pray that they just play better than Flex?
Oh, what? You have a Dynamo, you bring it to crab leg, and you don't bring it to humpback. Like, our job is I'm supposed to explain to people what these players think and how what their plan is. I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening.
Nah, man, you're casting someone who plays Dynamo. You're never going to explain what's going on in their head. Trust me, I've been doing this for way too long, and I can tell you that's not gonna happen. That's a new level of crazy. But going from something with extremely long ranges to like the most short range shooter in the game, I gotta be honest with you there. That's definitely a switch. But if it works out for them, hey, it works out for them. I'm proud of them. Anyway, FlexUp, 64 points on the board. They have a lot of map control available to map, and they also broke through that checkpoint as I speak. For the Kroyan right now, doesn't have any of that. So, well, they have to plays down on the side of FlexUp, I guess, which yeah, pretty good. That's a delayed wipe, that's even better. They have to utilize the delayed wipe quickly in order to get some points on the board early, because I feel like in maps like Humpback Pump Track, that checkpoint has to go ASAP because the push on the corner is so stupidly difficult.
And FlexUp has respawned, but oh, for an Acrylion, they're absolutely winning the team fight this time. That's a complete wipeout, and that is a direct street on to the checkpoint.
Oh, no, didn't get the checkpoint, they only touched it. I think they're gonna get it now because they got a second chance on the Rainmaker. But that's big splat from FlexUp. But FlexUp not really flexing anymore, Pat, because they got wiped out twice in a row.
That is huge right now for an Acrylion back on top and getting the rebuff of the Rainmaker as well. Wait, no, it looks like FlexUp were able to get on top of that situation. Big move, and that is FlexUp. Wait, they're not wasting a second, and they're getting the lead.
I thought it was gonna jump down, and then for the Kroyan is gonna get a splat, and I look away for half a second, and then I look back, and then the Rainmaker is 4 points remaining. These guys don't give up at all. FlexUp, or sorry, for the Kroyan, they essentially have to get a wipeout, or like a KO at this point. Like essentially, that's what they have to do. But how close a Rainmaker is to the pedestal. I mean, someone in Twitch chat just said holy, and honestly, that's I think the very best way to describe it. Oh, look at that though, Pat. That's a clear path towards the checkpoint. Oh, 7 points, and also closely players are so up on the field. They're gonna pop the Rainmaker. They're gonna dunk it. Oh. Goddamn! Yeah, connection. That's just the cherry on top. That's the cherry on top. I feel like someone has hit their desk so hard that their switch popped out of their deck. What was that? That went from, oh yeah, they're like pushing in their base a little bit to 24 and then KO on the other side of the map. in the span of 20 seconds.
What a
Hop,
game!
Humpback Pump Track, everyone. Absolute freaking cinema. What a game from Foreign Korean. I'll give them that. That comeback push was perfectly executed. I'll 100% give them that. That was perfection.
This is why I love Splatoon. It's always so
It
chaotic.
is.
We saw a team go in the street, get so strong, and instantly the other team get back, get to 4 points. And at the end we get an incredible KO with everybody shooting at the Rainmaker, trying to stop them, but that is for an Akrillion getting their victory, pushing their ticket to the grand finals. For an Akrillion, they got through all of the lower bracket. They absolutely destroyed that lower bracket, and now they are in grands. We're gonna take a short break, and we'll be right back with Perish Song versus 4 in Akrillion.
Splatoon Stronghold, a stronghold for competitive Splatoon, providing resources to long-timers and newcomers alike. If you're new to the competitive scene or still figuring out how to join, we have a getting started guide and plenty of other resources to help you in your journey. If you are a seasoned veteran, we still have plenty to offer. You can find and join tournaments as well as participate in our Captain Forum and find free agents and teams. Our mission is to make competitive Splatoon easily accessible to everyone. So what are you waiting for? Join the Splatoon Stronghold today!
and welcome back to Battling Pool 377. This might just be the moment you have all been waiting for. The grand finale. Parasong, a team that has only lost 2 games this tournament against FlexUp, and for in Acrylion, a team that just has beaten FlexUp 3-1, not a 5 game or game 5 series. The grand finale always gives us something interesting, and late battling pool is always a fun watch because you never know what to expect. Whilst we were waiting for this match to start, I heard 2 people tell me that the map pool is interesting. I feel like that's the right word for it. I think Pat can describe that to me in a bit more detail, but I am interested to see what we're going to see in this
We'll
set.
get there. We'll get there. But for now, let's start with Clamblitz on Scourge Gorge, which is completely normal. And yeah, we're going to see what these 2 teams are doing. We've seen these teams, not much of a surprise in terms of composition. They very much have very similar comps. Both are bringing that custom blaster that has become a staple of competitive now. And I mean, it's both a fun weapon and a weapon that gets results.
I like it. I think it's better. I think it's more fun than the S-Blast. I'll give you that. S-Blast is boring. So I'm happy that the weapon is there. I'm personally rooting for Necrolion with that L3D, my absolute baby. I love it so much, even though I play the other L3s a lot more. That's still my OG main. Comes back into 2-1. Let's see if it's going to turn into results, though, as Parasong has a lot more dominance on the map. On the map, they have a bigger presence with that blue color. Big splashdown coming in from Ali. Doesn't connect to anyone though, and I think with that killer wheel, that Power Clam will connect to the basket, opening the score, but there's almost no follow-up coming. 3 clams now in the hands of Buddy Punchy, getting some more clams in. Technically is out on the field. The score is 59 right now. That basket is still open. They are slowly but surely putting more and more clams into the basket. There we go. 50 points is the current score. 3 players are down plat with a very strong 50 push by Parasong.
Yep. Yeah, but for Acrylion are answering. They already have a bunch of clams and they're not that far from the basket. The hammer is deployed and lots of ground is being taken right there. But for Acrylion, not able to get to the basket. They had the super clam. They didn't have the position, and Parasong with an iron defense are going to take back control of the middle. Ooh, they're getting the splat after splat. They're really back forward. And wait, are they gonna get a push right away? No, not yet.
Not yet. They're trying to get the second super pushing, but I don't think Parasong has an opportunity as of yet. For Acrylion is trying to keep their heads above the water here, but Parasong is making it very difficult for them. Power Clam is active, and on the map for Parasong, they have a special ready as well. They just used their crab tank. The killer wheel is almost ready also, so they have a moment here that they can push in there. Oh, so close, not quite. There it is. Power Clam goes in, another push started by Parasong pattern for the coin.
Yep.
They just don't seem to have a response to this.
And they're not stopping. More clams going in. 20 clams remain. 20 points remaining, and more clams are coming as well. These 3 clams appearing next to the basket are huge, and more. Oh, so close. That would be okay. Oh, just 2 more clams is all Parasong needs, and they're going to get it. We were talking about both of these teams having a great skill, but right now, Parasong, they won the fights, they had the better positions on the map, they were on top of the objective. Everything went their way.
It was a perfect executed Clam Blitz game, especially with for the Acrylion not having any response to this. Now the next map mode. Mahi Zones. Who picked this?
Both teams. Both of the teams picked all of the maps that we're going to see.
I'm gonna report that.
But yeah, that's so both of these teams want to go here. And I mean, Mahi Mahi Resort is, I think, the best map mode for competitive. If you want to see two teams play their best, this is the right map for it, because any strategy, any kind of weapon, any team dynamic that you're going to have, you'll have the opportunity to showcase what you can do on here. So I'm really eager to see these two teams play here. Perish Song showed us an incredibly incredible strong game one. For an Acrylian, they need to answer here, because if you're not able to show a good game on this map, it means you really outpaced. So for an Acrylian really needs to get a good game here, especially since, I mean, you don't want to give a 2-0 to the team that's on the other side. But yeah, let's get right in there. And
wow,
that's
a Firefin, right?
Yeah, the Zekofin Charger. We don't see that one that often, but I guess having the strikes will allow Perish Song to always have something to paint, something to take control.
I mean, I feel like the little bit of extra range compared to the pencil might also be a big bonus for Perish Song.
It has the same range.
It has the same.
Splatterscope and Pencil have the same range, but
that shouldn't have the same range.
Yeah, they have the same exact same range, but one is one hit.
That's true, but still, nah. Pencils. I see why everyone's possible. I don't have less range than the Splatterscope. Okay,
Pencil
that makes
it's just good.
I know it's really good. I don't like it. It's a bit too good in my opinion. Maybe that's why I don't like it. Anyway, enough rambling about me not knowing anything about this game. Whilst we are playing, Perish Song has extended their lead to 40 points remaining and are quickly getting rid of all those points remaining on the board for the Korean. Don't have a single response to this big drive track coming out, big crab tank coming out, only 20 ticks remaining for the Korean to get anything done. That's a hammer coming in, and that's a hammer getting out of the base, and then the hammer getting splattered, and that's only 5 ticks remaining with 2 players down. So has been neutralized, but Punchy is still alive. Nobody in there to paint the zone, and another KO for Perish Song, and even 100-0 to boot. That's a very, very quick 2-0 for this team.
Yeah. There's a difference between a good team and a top team. And for an Acrylian, they're a great team. They're a team that's improving and getting there, but they're still facing the final boss, the seed number 1, and it's a different deal. It's really not the same. Right there, we see Perish Song in control. Perish Song not letting any mistake forgiven. And right now they are up 2-0, and we are going back to Scourge Gorge, because sometimes the map selection algorithm does things that we don't fully understand, and we get the same map twice. So yeah, back to Scourge Gorge, but this time on Rainmaker.
And in all honesty, I haven't seen enough Scourge Gorge yet, so you know what? I dig it. I think it's a good pick. I like it.
What do you mean we haven't seen Scourge Gorge yet?
I haven't. I didn't say that. I said I didn't have enough Scourge Gorge yet. I am always down for one more Scourge Gorge game, because this map always brings so many fun results. Although I don't think For an Acrylian had that much of a fun result the first time this set they played Scourge Gorge. Maybe it will change with another game mode. I don't know. It's looking really rough right now for an Acrylian. I'll give you that. I feel like Perish Song is just on another level, man.
I mean, for an Acrylian, it needs something big. Like, and they need to create the surprise. They need to sneak their way where their opponent is not expected. They need to put Perish Song off balance. Now, On Rainmaker, this is the best mode to put your opponent off balance, because one mistake, one push is enough to give you the lead. So this is the mode you want when you need a comeback the most. But now the big question is, can they do it? We've seen Perish Song get so much control, and they're bringing the vanilla splatterscope this time. They will have the vacuums to secure things, and they also bring a wiper. I mean, that's a completely different composition by Perish Song. Meanwhile, for an Acrylion, they're sticking to their guns, but they're the ones who need to adapt. They're the ones who need to change what they're doing.
They indeed do, because if they don't adapt and overcome, Perish Song will just easily 3-0 walk all over them. Though Rainmaker is a game for an Acrylion can excel at, we saw that earlier. However, you have to excel against Perish Song. You have to excel against their hyper-aggressive playstyle and the quick amount of splats that they will give to you. And a game mode like Rainmaker, that can be over oh so quickly. That 100 to 0 range in this game mode suddenly is a lot shorter than all the other game modes. Did we just see that? I didn't see that right, Pat. Was that just 2 point-blank misses in a row from that?
Yeah.
From that blade.
And Ali just got a triple right there. That triple really putting for an Acrylion back on the map, but Perish Song responding, coming back stronger, meaner, and punishing the jumps as well. The Rainmaker stays on the same side of the map, Hat.
Rainmaker is not yet going forward. It is checkpoint 1, or it's a checkpoint for Perish Song, and that's where Corner Coin would like it to stay. In fact, they would like to move to the other side. That's it's a bit of a hurdle between that. It's doable. They're doing better. I'll give them that. They are adapting the playstyle of Perish Song. Have they adapted enough is the question. Perish Song picked up the Rainmaker again, not even having a single player down on the side of Corner Coin. They are just confident that they can get the push in. Tacticuda is coming out on the side of Fornicroyan. That's a hammer. Gets one splat. Does get splatted on their own. The Rainmaker is struggling against that Nautilus. Gets splatted 3 players down. And now quickly responds. Pop with Rainmaker and push forward.
Yeah, and right now Fornicroyan are back in control of the Rainmaker, but they have yet to score a point. They have yet to get past mid. They're still waiting for the opportunity because Perish Song is maintaining so much pressure, so much presence. Eli right now with the Rainmaker trying to move forward but has no way in. And completely isolated. They've kept the Rainmaker for like 30 seconds and they still haven't scored a point at.
Have indeed not scored a point yet, and that lead from Perish Song is now being extended because of that vacuum, because of that hammer. Double splat by the hammer. That's big. Rainmaker on the checkpoint, and 3-0. It is Perish Song with an extremely dominating triple KO Grand Finals to take Battling Pool 377 home.
Yep, Perish Song gets the victory. 3-0. That is Battling Pool 377 for you. I mean that grand finals. We had our share of tiebreakers, of teams going the distance and being incredibly close. That grand finals was Perish Song deciding it was over and just going in, winning, and not letting anything happen on the other side. That's a clean 3-0 by them. Congratulations, they win Battling Pool.
That's definitely a big congratulations right there. And also, I very much deserved congratulations, might I add, because Perish Song in the finals, they just did everything they needed to do perfectly. I don't think they've made a single mistake in those last 3 games. For Acrylion though, I will give them some credit. Credit where credit is due. They literally fought their way through this tournament. The entire losers bracket was theirs to take. They got kicked out early, but they definitely made the most out of that. So Deserved second place. That's 100% for sure.
Yep, and that's going to be it for us. Special thanks to Jorian, our wonderful observer, and it's time for us to say goodbye, Hat.
Before we say goodbye, Pat, I gotta ask the question we always ask each other. Where can we find you on the internet?
Best way to find me is on Blue Sky. I guess it's written on your screen, but jautumn.bluesky is best way to find me. How about you, Hat?
That's also Blue Sky, but mine is spelled wrong because I got my old tag back. So it's actually casterhead.nl on Blue Sky here. I'll put it in Twitch chat. Go follow, I guess. I post a bunch of random stuff. But I think that's it for us. Thank you so much for watching another beautiful episode of Battling Pool, and I believe we will see you Friday for Trident Cup. I won't be there, but I'm fairly certain it will be another blast of a tournament, so definitely don't miss out. If you can't make it, then we will see you next week on Battling Pool.